اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما أغلق والخاتم لما سبق ناصر الحق بالحق وهادي إلى صراطك المستقيم وعلى آله حق قدره مقدار العظيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. صلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. الحمد لله رب العالمين، أفضل صلاة وتام تسليما على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. ورضي الله تعالى عن هذا السادة التابعين علماء آملين وأئمة أربعين مجتهدين مقلديهم إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد، Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. I just wanted to do this brief biography of Imam Sahnun al-Maliki and his qualities. He's one of the great Imams, Faqih, Muhaddith, um, scholars, classical scholars in the Maliki school, who is notably, debatably, one of the Imams who actually formulated the Maliki method the Maliki school as a method. Right? He was born in Syria. He was born in Syria. He was also one of the contemporaries of Imam Ahmed. His title is Sahnun, but his name is Abdus Salam, Imam Abdus Salam ibn Sa'id ibn ibn Habib at Tanukhi. He's from the Arab tribe of Tanukhi. He's the famous Maliki jurist of Kairouan, right? And he's the author of the Mudawwana. The Mudawwana is the text that the madhab is formulated on, right? These are the questions and answers of Imam Malik ibn Anas, rahmatullahi alayhi, through the path of Imam ibn al-Qasim. Imam ibn al-Qasim was one of the companions of Imam Malik that Imam Sahnun had taken knowledge from. He took the Mudawwana from him. He took the Mudawwana from him, and he compiled it in the text. He also learned took from another one of the companions of Imam Malik, which is Imam Ali ibn Ziyad, who was also from the Maghrib, right? His kunya was Abu Sa'id. His family was from Syria, from the city Homs. His father Sa'id was a mujahid, a soldier in the army of Homs. Wa alaikum salam rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Before I continue, I would like to request all those who are attending and listening. If you are listening from Facebook, you're looking at it from Facebook, please like and share the video. If you are watching from YouTube, please like and share the video. If you are watching from the Tajdeed al-Sunnah Institute Learning Group, please like and share the video, right? His son Muhammad said, I asked my father, are we descendants from Tanukhi? He said to me, what need do you have of that? And I continued to ask him until he told me. So he said, yes. And that will not avail anything for you with Allah Ta'ala. Right? So Sahnun was his title, and his name was actually Abdus Salam, one of the sheikhs of the people of Hadith, reported that one of the sheikhs of North Africa said, Sahnun was named after a sharp bird because of his sharpness in questionings of fiqh. Now, I mentioned that he is a contemporary of Imam Ahmed. Imam Ahmed was born 164 Hijra, and Imam Ahmed, rahimahullah, he died 241 Hijra, right? Imam Sahnun, he was born 160 Hijra, and he died 240 Hijra. So he was a contemporary of Imam Ahmed, and he during this time, um, the Muslims were Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. We were challenged by many different groups, the Ibadi or the Khawarij, right? The Mu'tazili, and him and Imam Ahmed, there was four years difference in age. So he was 4 years older than Imam Ahmed, right? And he died 1 year before Imam Ahmed. He died 240 Hijra. Imam Ahmed died 241 Hijra. So to mentioning concerning his quest and journey, right? Imam Sahnun studied knowledge in Kairouan. Anyone who know what Kairouan is located in Tunis, right? And this name is also the place known where Imam Ibn Abi Zayd al-Qayrawani was from, right? He studied in Qayrawan with its sheikhs, Abu Kharija, Bahalu, Ali ibn Ziyad, was also a companion of Imam Malik ibn Anas, rahmatullahi alayhi, Ibn Abi Hassan, Ibn Ghaynaim, Ibn Ashras, Ibn Abi Karima, his brother Habib, Muawiyah as-Samadahi, and Abu Ziyad al-Ra'ini. His son said he went out to Egypt at the beginning of 178 Hijra, while Imam Malik was still alive. Imam Malik died when Imam Sahnun was at the age of 18 or 17. He traveled to Ibn Ziyad in Tunis during the time when Ibn Bukhair traveled to Imam Malik. Right? Sahnun said, "I was with Ibn Wabd." Ibn Wabd was also one of the companions of Imam Malik who studied with Imam Malik, and then he went to Egypt, and he studied with Layth. Right? I was with Ibn Wabd when when the answers of Imam Malik were repeated to him. He was asked, "What stops you from listening to them?" He replied, "Lack of dirham." He said, another time, may Allah Ta'ala revile poverty. If it had not been for it, I would have reached Imam Malik. So his intention was to also go and learn directly from Imam Malik as well, while also learning from Imam Malik's companions. The opinion of Ibn al-Qasim, the position of Abdurrahman ibn al-Qasim in the Maliki school is more preferred than Ibn Wabd, Ibn Layth, Ali ibn Ziyad, Ali ibn Ziyad, and others. Because Ibn al-Qasim, he spent 30 years with Imam Malik, and from him, the Mudawana was compiled, right? So, along with many, many other companions of Imam Malik, Egypt is also one of the schools of the Maliki school, right? You have the Maghribi school, you have the Egyptian school, you have the Medina school, you have the Iraqi school, you have the Andalusian school, and you have the Sicilian school, which was actually, um, some say it was by accident, because when the Khalifa uh, sent Imam Yahya Afriki with the army to Sicily. He actually sent him. He actually sent him with the army to be martyred. But Allah Subhanahu wa Taala gave the Muslims tawfiq in Sicily. So Sicily was also there was also formulated a school, the Maliki school in Sicily, and the Muslims ruled Sicily about 200 years, 200 to 300 years. All right. So to continue, Imam Sahnun had listened to those of the Medinans who were there, who died before 188 Hijra, like Nafi, right, who died in 186 Hijra. In his journey to Egypt and to the Hijaz, Sahnun listened to Ibn al-Qasim, Ibn Wabd, Ashhab, Tulayb ibn Kamil, Abdullah ibn Abdul Hakam, Shuaib ibn Layth, Yusuf ibn Amr, Sufyan ibn Uyayna, Waqi, Abdurrahman ibn Mahdi, Hafs ibn Ghiyath, Abu Dawood al-Tayalisi, Yazid ibn Harun, Al-Walid ibn Muslim, Ibn Nafi al-Sa'ir, Ma'an ibn Isa, Abu Damra, Ibn Ibn Majisun, Mutarif, and others. He went to North Africa in 191 Hijra. He said, I went to Ibn al-Qasim when I was 25, and I came to North Africa when I was 30. The first to read to me was Abdul Malik Zunayn. He mentioned that Bahalul ibn Rashid wrote instructing Ali ibn Ziyad to let Sahnun listen, right? So Ali took the Muwatta and came to him to let him listen to it in his place. He said to him, Bahalul wrote to me and to tell me that you are one of those who seek knowledge of Allah, right? Who seek knowledge for Allah. Al-Furut, Al-Furat said, I heard Sahnun say, a question was obscure for me, so that I wanted to learn to return to Medina about it, so that it will become clear to me. Sahnun said, when I went on Hajj, I accompanied Ibn Wabd. Ashhab was accompanied by his orphan, and Ibn Qasim was accompanied by his son Musa. When I alighted, I questioned Ibn Qasim. We walked in the day and discussed questions, and in the night, each went to their group in the prayer. When Ibn Wab said, "Do you think that this Maghribi should learn in the day and not study in the night? Ibn Qasim said, Ibn Qasim replied, it is a light from which Allah puts in the hearts. So Imam Sahnun, he was diligent in his learning, right? He was diligent in his learning. Concerning Imam Sahnun's place in knowledge and praise of him, Muhammad ibn Ahmed ibn Tamimi said in his book, Sahnun was reliable, preserving knowledge, a faqih. He had qualities which are rarely found in the same person. He was brilliant in fiqh, truthful and scrupulous, with sternness regarding the truth, asceticism in this world, and humility in food, dress, and liberality. He did not accept anything from the rulers. Abu Bakr al-Maliki said, in addition to this, he was soft-hearted, full of tears, humble, lacking in artifice. He was a man of noble character, of noble qualities, good manners, a sound heart, who was harsh against the people of innovation. He did not fear the criticism of any critic for Allah. His imamate spread in the east and in the west, and the people of his age, they agreed about his excellence and precedence. He had many virtues. Abu Arab al-Tamimi wrote a book devoted to them, devoted to his virtues. Ashab was asked, "Who comes to you from the Maghrib?" He replied, "Sahnun." It was said, and Asad and Asad, and then he said, "Sahnun by Allah, he has 99 times more fiqh than Asad." Ibn al-Qasim encouraged him to stay with him, to seek knowledge, and not to go out for jihad. When he tried to become skilled in jihad, Ibn Qasim said to Ibn Rushd, "Tell your friend, i.e. Sahnun, to sit. Knowledge is better for him than jihad and has more reward. He should give this horse which he came with to one who is in a similar state to fulfill it for him." Meaning that he should give his horse to someone who has the intention to go out and fight jihad, right? So that the horse that he came with will participate in the jihad. The like of Sahnun has not come to us from North Africa, nor did he see his like after him. Amr ibn Yazid said, "The first of what I learned in questions of the prayer was from Sahnun. If I had said that Sahnun had more fiqh than all of the companions of Imam Malik, I would be telling the truth." And this was his opinion, this was his opinion, Amr ibn Yazid. This was his opinion of Imam Sahnun, right? So to continue, Yasid ibn Bashir used to esteem Sahnun and respect him. He said, "I was in Tunis, and his station and his station in Islam and his blessings reached me. One of his adherents would come to me, and I would recognize adab, good behavior, in him. Sometimes one of Haramala's men will come to me, and I would discern lack of adab in him. I said to him, 'Why are you not like one to whom Sahnun teaches adab?'" So this was in his curriculum to teach good manners, right? Abu Zayd ibn Abil Ghamir said, "None with more fiqh than Sahnun came to us except one with a fertile tongue than him came to us, i.e. Ibn Habib. Yunus ibn Abdul Ala said, he is the master of the people of Maghrib. Hamdus said, or was he not the master of the east and the west? Right? Sulaim ibn Imran said, when I asked Asad about a question, he answered me from a deep sea, and the meaning of his answers was, do not ask for more. When I asked Sahnun, he answered me from a deep sea, and the meaning of his answer was, ask more. Knowledge was in the breast of Sahnun, like a surah of the Quran for the one who memorized it. Sahnun was a man of right action. Sahnun said, I memorized these books until they became like the Quran in my breast. Abu Bakr ibn Hamad said, I heard Sahnun say, I have the oral transmission of 2 years from Sufyan ibn Uyayna in my house. Another said, we were with Ibn al-Qasim, and he said, if anyone is fortunate with these books, it is Sahnun. Then he returned to Ibn Abdul Hakam and said, if Abu Muhammad accepts it, it is by knowledge. If Ashbaq accepts it, it is by a riwayah. Sa'id ibn al-Harith said Sahnun was a man of intellect with firmness and scrupulousness with firmness. He knew the schools of the people of Medina with great firmness. He have sat with the people of this land since I reached it, and I did not see anyone more generous by nature than Sahnun. Muhammad ibn Sahnun said, my father said to me, when you want to go on Hajj, you will come to Tripoli, and there are men of Medina there, and to Egypt, and there are transmitters there, and to Medina, and there is the tribe of Malik there, and to Mecca. Strive as much as you can. If you bring me a single phrase from Malik which does not have a root of Malik, which does not have a root with your sheikh, know that your sheikh is remiss. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sulayman ibn Salam said in his assemblies, I went to Egypt and I saw that there were many scholars there. Abdul Hakam, Al-Harith ibn Miskin, Abu Tahir, Abu Ishaq al-Barki, and others. I went to Medina and there was Abu Mus'ab and al-Farawi. I went to Mecca and there were 13 men of hadith there. I went to other towns and I met their scholars and men of hadith. I did not see with my eye the like of Sahnun and his son after him. Isa ibn Mishkin said Sahnun was the God-fearing person of this community. Between Malik and Sahnun, there was none with more fiqh than Sahnun. One of them said, I came to the kings and spoke to them. I did not see anyone who put more awe in my ear than Sahnun. Ash-Shirazi said, leadership came to him in knowledge in the Maghrib. His statement was relied on, and he wrote the Mudawwana. The people of Qairan relied on it, and he had companions which none of the companions of Malik had. The knowledge of Malik spread from him in the Maghrib. Abdurrahman az-Zahid said, when Asad went out to Iraq, I asked him advice on whom I should go to listen to. He said, you must have this sheikh, i.e. Sahnun, I do not know of anyone like him. Now I'm gonna mention concerning the rest of his qualities. Abu Arab says Sahnun was of medium height, and his complexion was between white and brown. So he was light brown, right? And to side note, among the Arabs, when they when they mention white, they're not talking about uh, they're not talking about European white. They're actually talking about uh, a person whose pigmentation has melanin in it, with a light degree of melanin. So this individual is an individual who is considered white is actually a light skinned person, right? He had a good beard, much hair, wide set eyes, wide set shoulders. He was silent a lot and spoke little. He spoke a lot with wisdom and was very dignified. He cut off his mustache according to the amount of the comb, and he dressed well. He had uh, he had a hernia in his abdomen, and he wrapped it with wool. He had a nag on which a nag on which he rode. A nag is a horse, right? He was rarely seen during supererogatory prayer in the masjid. So people who do uh, a lot of supererogatory and nawafil prayers, they don't do them in the masjid, because if people who are seen doing supererogatory prayers in the masjid, you will know that in these individuals, they truly worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and if they noticed that someone was paying attention to them, they would stop immediately because of their piety. So the supererogatory prayers, if you pray nawafil prayers, pray them at home. Don't pray them in the masjid. Don't pray them in the street, right? Because this can be a form of riyah, of showing off. Ibn Bistam said Sahnun had a tall hat. Sometimes he wore it in dark round garments. Sometimes he carried it in his hand with onions and other things to his house while he was wearing it in humility. Sulayman ibn Salim said Sahnun adopted the school of the people of Medina in everything, even in livelihood. He used to say, I do not like that the livelihood of man be other than according to what is in his hand. He is not obliged to more than what is in his hand. If he needs a woman, he seeks her according to the amount which he has in his hand, in her provision and moderation, until he still has enough for him in his hand. If he has halal money, he relies on it and devotes himself to worship. If he does not have it, then he must acquire it by his hand. That is better for him than asking people. If he does not need a wife, I prefer that he leave that. Consuming people's property, consuming people's property in poverty and sadaqah is better than consuming them with the knowledge and the Quran. Abu Jabir, Abdul Jabbar ibn Khalid said, we used to listen to Sahnun in his house at the coast. He came out to us one day, and he had a plow on his shoulder and a tool in his hands. He told us the slave boy had a fever yesterday. When I finish, I will let you listen. I said to him, I will go and plow, and you let out companions to listen. When I finish reading, read to me what I have missed. He did it when I came to close to his dinner, to his supper. It was barely bread and old oil. Isa said Sahnun was silent for Allah, and his words were for Allah. When he wanted to talk, he was silent. When he wanted to be silent, he spoke. Ibn Mu'atib said Sahnun used to buy a quarter roth of meat every day, with which he break his fast, and then he abandoned that, following the Sahihun in their food. Sahnun did not do anything except for Allah. That is why his importance was great. Uh, Ibrahim Ibn Shuaib said, Sahnun used to come out to us while we were sitting for him in his assembly. By Allah, I do not know that he ever greeted us in his assembly. During that time, he walked in the markets, and he did not pass anyone but that he turned to him and greeted him. This was out of respect of knowledge and the all that he had with his students. Now concerning his appointment as Qadi and his behavior, right? So Sahnun was appointed Qadi of North Africa in 234 Hijra. He was When he was 74 years old. He remained Qadi until his death. So he was Qadi for 6 years. He died 6 years later in 240 Hijra. Right? Abu Arab said when Abil Jawaid was dismissed, Sahnun said, Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam appointed to this community the best of it and the most just, and he was the one who was appointed after him. Uraib, the scribe, mentioned that one day Sahnun passed by Ibn Abil Juwayd, and he saw some injustice on his part, and said, Ya Allah, do not make me die until I see him before a just Qadi, who will judge him by the truth. He was dismissed, and Sahnun was appointed, and he tried him. The people said, your supplication has been answered. When Muhammad ibn Akhlab wanted to appoint Sahnun, he gathered the Fuqaha together for consultation. Sahnun indicated Sulaiman ibn Imran, and Sulaiman indicated Sahnun. Others indicated Sulaiman. They came in one by one, and they spoke, and they did the first time, as they did the first time, and most of the Fuqaha there had the opinion of the Kufans, and Suleiman shared their opinion. Suleiman said, I did not think that he asked for counsel about Sahnun. I went on Hajj, and I saw the people of Egypt were pleased that he was among them. No one, no one else merits the Qadiship while Sahnun is alive. Ibn Akhlab sent Ibn Qasim to Sahnun, and he said to him, I want to put you in charge of the Qadiship of my flock. So he told him, may Allah make the Amir thrive. I do not possess the power up for it. Shall I direct you to one who is strong? Sulayman ibn Imran. So Muhammad ibn Sahnun said Sahnun was appointed Qadi after it was offered to him for a year and being treated very harshly. Muhammad ibn al-Akhlab swore the strongest oath to him, and he was appointed on Monday, the 3rd of Ramadan in 234 Hijrah. He took some days to look into the Qadiship and search for helpers, and then sat for the people on the following Sunday in the Grand Masjid after he had prayed and made much supplication. Sahnun said, I did not think that I should accept this business until there were two promises from the Emir. One of them was that he would give me what I wanted and give me a free hand in all that I wanted to extend to the extent that I said to him, I will start with people of your house, their relatives, and your aides, even if there were injustices before towards the people and their property a long time ago, since my predecessors did not dare act against them. He told me, yes, begin with them and make the truth flow on my head. I said to him, Allah, and I said to him, Allah, and he said to me, Allah 3 times. In his resolution, in this, he brought me what a man fears for himself, and I thought that I did not find anyone who deserved this matter, and I did not find myself in any capacity to refuse. Sulayman ibn Salim said, when the appointment of Sahnun was complete, people met him. I saw him rise on an animal without a robe or hat, and distress was on his face. No one dared to congratulate him. He went on until he came to his daughter Khadijah, who was one of the best women. He told her, today your father has been slaughtered without a knife. People then knew that he had accepted the Qadiship. When he was appointed, Aun ibn Yusuf came to him and said to him, do we congratulate you or console you? Then he was silent. He said, it has reached me that whoever has it come to him without seeking it is helped in it. Whoever brings it by asking is not helped in it. Talking about the Qadiship. Sahnun told him, whoever intercession appoints, intercession dismisses. Whoever intercession appoints, judge by intercession. Jabala said Sahnun did not take provision for himself nor any gift from the Sultan in his entire Qadiship. He took for his aid scribes and judges from the from the from the jizya of the people of the book. I heard him say to the Emir, the provisions of my aid has been withheld, and they are your employees. They did your work in full, and that is not allowed for you. The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Give the employee his due before the sweat dries on his brow." Ibn Sahnun said Sahnun the used to beat the litigates when they abused each other verbally or objected to the testimony. He said, if the testimony is resisted, how can they testify? He disciplined the litigate, used the witness of a fault or disparagement. He said, ask me about the clear proof. They are like that. He told the litigates, I am more concerned with that than you are. It is up to me rather than you. When the witness came to him, and was afraid of him, he would turn from him so that he would feel at home and lose his terror. If that went on for a long time, he erased it for him, and he said to him, I do not have a whip or a stick. There's no harm for you. Give what you know and leave what you do not know. Another said the first thing Sahnun investigated was the markets. The governors rather than the Qadis used to look into it. He looked he looked to see what livelihoods in it were correct and if there was any fraud in goods. He put superintendents in charge of that. He punished people for cheating. He banned from the markets those who merited that. He was the first to investigate the regulations by the Qadi. He was the first Qadi to break up the circles of the people of innovation in the masjid. He drove the people of sex from it. There had been uh, circles of Sufriya, a Kharijite group, the Ibadiyya, another Kharijite group, and the Mutazilites in it. They had circles in which they debated and displayed their deviation. He barred them from being imams of the people, teachers of children, and mueddins. He commanded that they not meet together, and he punished a group of them after this who had disobeyed his command and had them paraded around the city. A group of them were moved to repentance. They were moved to make Toba. He was the first Qadi to put an imam in the masjid to lead the people in prayer. That had been left out. That had been left up to the emirs. He was the first of them to put deposits with custodians. Before that, they had been kept in the houses of the Qadis. He was the first to send superintendents to the deserts. He would write to them. Before him, one would write to a group of the virtuous men among them. The Qadis after him adopted this course of action. He would sit in a room in the masjid which he built for himself, since he saw a lot of people and spoke a lot. Only two litigates would be present with him, and whoever testified between them in their claim, while all other people were apart from him. He did not see them nor listen to the clamor. He was not concerned with their business. Sitting in that room became a custom for the Maliki Qadis. When an Iraqi was appointed, he destroyed it. When a Medinan was appointed, he built it and gave judgment in it. Sahnun used to write the names of people on pages which he put before him. He summoned them one by one, unless someone came to him in pressing need or grief. He used to flog with the whip, and whatever punishment was light in the mosque, when hudud punishments were imposed. He removed those people from the masjid for punishment. He punished often by slapping on the back of the neck. Isa ibn Mishkin said, by his appointment over the Sharia, people obtained the truth. There was no Qadiship in North Africa like his. Sa'id ibn Ishaq said, whoever was appointed Qadi of North Africa made a profit except for Sahnun. I have a little bit more left. I have a little bit more left. So, inshallah ta'ala, I'm going to break for Salat al-Asr, and I'm going to continue after. Inshallah ta'ala. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta. Astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati ma yasifun. Wassalamun ala mursaleen. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين والصلاة والسلام على رسولك الكريم آمين